Hi, my name is Celeste Chan, and I am an Ambassador Girl Scout in Troop 9011. Today I'll be teaching you how to make a comet in a bag. So the first step is to open a gallon-sized Ziploc bag and place it on the table. You can also use a giant mixing bowl to hold the bag properly because we'll be putting liquids and mixing them in this bag. But in this case, I did not use a bowl. So the first step is to put 2 cups of water in the Ziploc bag. The cups I used are 9-ounce cups, so in total there'll be 18 ounces of water. The second step is to place 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon of dirt or sand in the bag into the water. And the dirt or sand represents any minerals or rocks that are present in the comet. So once you put these 3 teaspoons in the Ziploc bag, stir the contents with a wooden spoon. So after mixing your dirt with the water, get ammonia. And ammonia represents actual ammonium in the comet, and you'll want to put the same amount of ammonia as the dirt, which is 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon. And since ammonia is actually a chemical hazard and it may irritate your eyes or your nose, vinegar can also be used, and vinegar represents amino acids. So after putting your ammonia or vinegar, the next step is to put honey in your mixture, and you'll want to put 1 tablespoon or 3 teaspoons of honey into the mixture. Honey represents organic substances in your comet, and organic meaning that the substances are made of carbon or contain carbon. And after you place each of these ingredients in the bag, make sure you stir it with the wooden spoon. After you're done mixing the mixture with your honey, water, dirt, ammonia or vinegar, and of course water, put it aside, and the next step is to crush the dry ice into powder. So in comets, dry ice is the main substance, and it basically keeps the comet cold. And the reason why we want to make sure it's in powder form is that when we pour it into the bag full of liquid, we want the dry ice to have as much surface area as possible so we can freeze the liquid in the bag. So you'll want about the same amount of dry ice in powder form as the amount of water you placed in the bag. So I'm crushing enough dry ice so that I'll have at least 2 cups of dry ice, powdered dry ice, to place in my bag. So here I'm using a hammer to crush the dry ice. So one of the things you can notice in my video is that the Ziploc bag is starting to inflate, and this is because I sealed the bag completely, and dry ice is basically a frozen gas. So it's frozen carbon dioxide, and so dry ice sublimates at room temperature, which means that it goes from solid to gas form, and it skips the liquid phase. So there is no liquid coming from dry ice. So if you keep the bag sealed completely with no way for the gas to escape the bag, it will explode. So make sure that you leave an opening for the gas to escape. After you crushed the dry ice into a powder form or smaller pieces, you place, in this case I placed 2 cups of dry ice in the mixture because I had 2 cups of water approximately. So I placed that amount. If you had more water or less water, you can cater to that amount. After you pour 2 cups of dry ice into your mixture, you'll see that it starts sublimating, which is the white gas coming out. And if you listen carefully, you can hear the mixture cooking, and those are the bubbles. And the bubbles are coming from the dry ice, which is still sublimating, but it's just that the gas is escaping from the liquid, which makes it look like it's bubbling. After you put in the 2 cups of dry ice, make sure that you use your wooden mixing spoon to mix the contents so that the liquid is frozen. And the tricky part here is that you have to mix until everything is almost frozen. So you don't want to mix until everything is as hard as a rock, but you do want to mix until it's almost there. If you find that the dry ice pieces may be too big, like in my bag I had a couple large pieces, feel free to either use a hammer or the mixing spoon to crush it into smaller pieces so that the liquid will freeze. In this case, I realized that the dry ice was had large chunks, so I crushed them more to make it more powdered. After I crushed the dry ice again, I made sure to mix it again to try to freeze more of the liquid. And you can see that the dry ice pieces, which are the white pieces, are definitely smaller than before. So I remolded the Comet, and this time you'll see there's actually less liquid than before I re-crushed it. So this is what I meant by crushing the dry ice again if you feel that the dry ice pieces may be a little big. So now there's actually almost no liquid in my bag, and the Comet is sticking well together into one solid form. And you'll see that the dry ice is still sublimating. There is still gas escaping out of the Ziploc bag. It's important not to seal the bag still. So after you finish molding your comet, feel free to take it out of the bag. Of course, still wearing your gloves that will protect you from the coldness. And you have made your very own comet in a bag. And the comet, if you look closely, will start to sublimate, and this happens in space all the time. So comets are drawn by the sun's gravity toward the sun, and the sun's heat actually causes it to sublimate because dry ice is very cold. And you'll see here in this video that the dry ice is sublimating, and you'll see jets of gas coming out of the comet. The little bubbles are also gas escaping out of the comet. So this is what causes comets to have their noticeable tails in space, because their dry ice components are sublimating. So the minerals and the gases are escaping out of the comet, which causes its distinguishable tail. So here are more shots of the comet I made with jets of gas coming out. After I made the comet, I wanted to find out what happened inside after the comet was out in the air for a while. And so I hit it open with a hammer, and I put on my cold protectant gloves again, and you can see that there are actually holes in the middle of my comet. And you may be thinking, why are there holes? And the reason there are holes is because I had chunks of dry ice, and the dry ice sublimates. So when it sublimates, it actually just it doesn't leave a liquid, and it just becomes a gas. So the gas just escaped out of the comet and left a hole. And you can see here that this is dry ice on the table, and it's sublimating in the air. I hope you had fun making a comet in a bag with me, and I hope that you can share this video with friends and family and teach them all about comets also. Thank you for watching.